Hello students, welcome back. This is Mrs. Mercado speaking. This is a continuation of the lecture for chapter 22, which deals with budgeting. I'm going to be covering the next problem for this week's assignments, which is exercise 22.9. Okay, this problem deals with direct materials purchases budget. Okay, so let's go over the problem and then we can figure out the calculations. Okay, so it says Tobin's Frozen Pizza Incorporated has determined from its production budget the following estimated production volumes for a 12-inch and a 16-inch frozen pizzas for November. Okay, so we have budgeted production volume of 70,000 12-inch pizzas and 50,000 16-inch pizzas. Okay, there are 3 direct materials used in producing these 2 types of pizza. The quantities of direct materials expected to be used for each pizza are as follows. So, the 3 materials we have is the dough, the tomato, and the cheese. So, for every 12-inch pizza, we're going to use 0.55 pounds of dough, 0.25 pounds of tomato, and 0.70 pounds of cheese. For every 16-inch pizza, we're going to spend or use 0.80 pounds of dough, 0.40 pounds of tomato, and 1.20 pounds of cheese. Okay. In addition, Tobin's has determined the following information about each material. So we already have in our warehouse or in our refrigerator, as of the beginning of the month, as of November the 1st, we have an estimated inventory of 2,500 pounds of dough, 1,000 pounds of tomato, and 3,000 pounds of cheese. We want a desired inventory at the end of the month of 2,000 pounds of dough, 1,200 pounds of tomato, and 2,800 pounds of cheese. Okay, and the price per pound is 50 cents a pound per dough, 60 cents a pound per tomato, and 85 cents a pound per cheese. Now they're asking us to prepare November's direct materials purchases budget for Tobin's Frozen Pizza. Okay. So we start off with the heading. We have Tobin's Frozen Pizza Incorporated, and this is a direct materials purchases budget. We want to get an estimate of how much materials we're going to have to purchase depending on the production volume estimated for the month of November. And this is for the month ending November the 30th. Okay, so we're going to start off with the units required for production of our 2 types of pizza. Okay, so we have units required for production. Okay, and now we're going to have the 12-inch pizza, and we're going to have the 16-inch pizza. Okay, now we need to figure out how much dough we need to make the 70,000 pizzas, the 12-inch 70,000 pizzas for each of the materials. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the 12-inch pizza, and I'm going to calculate my dough, my tomato, and my cheese. Okay, so I'm going to run my calculations on the bottom. Okay, so for the dough, okay, I know that for my 12-inch pizza, I'm going to make 70,000 pizzas. Okay, so I'm going to get my 70,000 pizzas, and for every pizza, I need 0.55 pounds of dough. Okay, so then that's going to give me 70,000 times 0.55. That's going to give me 38,500 pounds of dough. Okay, 38,500 pounds. Okay. So that is the amount of dough I need to be able to make 70,000 pizzas. Okay. Now I'm going to do the tomato. Okay. And let me here put the 12-inch pizza. That way we know 12-inch pizza calculations. Okay. Then we have the tomato. And for the tomato, we're going to make 70,000 pizzas. And for every pizza, I'm going to need 0.25 pounds of tomato. Okay, so let's see how much that is. We have 70,000 pizzas, and for every pizza we need 0.25 pounds. So that's going to give me 17,500 pounds of tomato. Okay, Lastly, we have our cheese component. Okay, so we're going to have 70,000 pizzas, and for every pizza we need 0.70 pounds of cheese. Okay, so let's have 70,000 pizzas, and every pizza needs 0.70 pounds of cheese. So that's going to give me 49,000 pounds of cheese. Okay. Now we're going to run the same calculations, but we're going to do it for the 16-inch pizza. Okay. So we're going to start off with the dough, and for the dough, how many pizzas are we going to make that are 16-inch? We're going to make 50,000 pizzas. Okay, so we're going to have 50,000 pizzas, and for every pizza I need 0.80 pounds of dough. Okay, so let's see what that gives us. So we're going to make 50,000 16-inch pizzas, and we need 0.80 pounds of dough. That's going to give me 40,000 pounds. Okay. Next we have the tomato. We're going to be making 50,000 16-inch pizzas, and for the tomato we're going to need 0.40 pounds per pizza. So then that means we're going to need 50,000 times 0.40 pounds. We're going to need 20,000 pounds of tomato. And then last but not least, we have our cheese component. We're making 50,000 pizzas, and for every pizza I'm going to need 1.20 pounds of cheese. Okay, so I'm going to have 50,000 pizzas times 1.20. That's going to give me 60,000 pounds of cheese. So that is the number of pounds of material that I need for dough, tomato, and cheese for both my 12-inch pizza and my 16-inch pizza. Now on top of making the desired pizza amount, the problem also says that we want to have a desired ending inventory. We want to have some leftover materials or ingredients in case we want to sell additional pizzas. Okay, so we want to have that available in a refrigerator in case something comes up. We are ready to be able to produce additional pizzas. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my desired inventory as of November the 30th. And we want to have 2,000 pounds of dough. Okay. We want to have 1,200 pounds of tomato. And we want to have 2,800 pounds of cheese. Okay. So that is going to give us our total units available. There we go. So I'm going to add up my total dough for my 12-inch and my 16-inch pizza and my desired ending inventory. So I'm going to add all those three together for each of the columns. That way we can get our total for our dough, tomato, and cheese. Okay, so all I'm doing here is I'm adding my different columns here so I can get my total. That's all I'm doing. Just adding your different totals downward. Okay. Now, the problem also stated that we have a beginning inventory. We already have some of these materials in our refrigerator. Okay. So, because we have them in our refrigerator, we don't have to purchase those materials because we already have them available. So because we don't have to purchase them, I'm going to deduct that from the whatever I need. This is what I need to be able to manufacture my pizzas, to make my pizzas, and to also have my desired ending inventory. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to deduct my estimated inventory as of November the 1st. Okay, and I'm going to subtract that. So according to the problem, we had 2,500 pounds of dough. We had 1,000 pounds of tomato. and we had 3,000 pounds of cheese. Okay. Now we can figure out how much actual materials do I need to purchase. Okay. Okay. So to do that, you're going to get your total units available minus your estimated inventory November the 1st. Okay. And then that'll give us our amount. Okay. For each of the columns. Okay. So that's going to give us 78,000 for our dough, 37,700 for our tomato, and 108,800 for our cheese. Okay. Now that we know how many pounds of actual material we need to purchase, we can multiply it times our price per pound to be able to calculate our total direct materials to be purchased. Okay. So the problem gives you the unit price per pound. Okay. And the unit price per pound for the dough was 0.50 cents. Okay. It was 0.60 cents for the tomato and 0.85 cents for the cheese. Okay. So that is my unit price per pound. Okay. Now that I have that, I can calculate my total direct materials to be purchased. Okay, so how do I do that? Well, I know that I need 78,000 pounds of dough. Okay, so I'm going to get my 78,000 pounds, and I know that every pound costs 50 cents. Okay, every pound of dough costs 50 cents. So I'm going to multiply it by 50 cents, and that's going to give me $39,000 for my dough. Then I know that I need 37,700 pounds of tomato. So I'm going to get the 37,700 pounds of tomato. And I know that every pound of tomato costs me 60 cents. So that means that I'm going to spend $22,620 on tomato. Okay. Last but not least, we have our cheese. I know I need 108,800 pounds of cheese. And I'm going to multiply it by 0.85 cents a pound. That's going to give me $92,480 for cheese. So the total that I'm going to spend on my materials, which is my dough, my tomato, and my cheese, to manufacture my 12-inch and my 16-inch pizzas is going to be, I'm going to add those three together, and that's going to give me $154,100. Okay. That is my total direct materials that I estimate I'm going to be spending to be able to make 70,000 12-inch pizzas, 50,000 16-inch pizzas, and still be left with some ending inventory as prescribed in the chapter. Okay, so that is how we calculate exercise 22.9. Okay, it's not difficult. It's just understanding, okay, how many pizzas are we going to be manufacturing? How much do I need in materials for my dough, tomato, and cheese to manufacture each of the pizzas? Okay, and then don't forget the component of our desired ending inventory, and then of course deducting our beginning inventory. Okay, so that is the second of our problems for today. Thank you.